If you've ever opened your banking app and immediately felt overwhelmed, you are not alone. You see one number, and you're supposed to somehow know what bills are already accounted for, what hasn't come out yet, what is safe to spend, what you might have forgotten. And instead of feeling clear, you feel stuck. So you put it off. You wait to pay certain bills just in case something comes up. You avoid checking your balance because you don't want bad news. You hesitate to spend on things that you actually need because you're not fully sure what's available. And all of that creates this underlining question: do I actually have enough? Not just for today, but for everything that's coming. And when you don't feel confident in that answer, it's incredibly difficult to move forward. It's not that you don't care, it's not that you're not trying. It's that everything is mixed together in a way that makes it hard to think clearly. And that's why one of the simplest ways to begin to organize your finances is to stop trying to manage everything in one place. Learn how to organize your finances in 2 bank accounts the Simply Balanced way. Hi friends, welcome back to the Simply Waterbury podcast. If you're new here, I'm Sarah, and I'm taking you along on my journey to living a simpler life, one where I can focus on deepening my faith, being present with my family, and truly enjoying my home and everything that comes with it. And I want to help you do the same. Because if I'm being honest, there have been so many seasons where I felt heavy, weighed down by everything that was going on around me, watching days, weeks, even months go by, and realizing that I couldn't remember the last time I felt fully present with my family, the last time I did something meaningful with my daughter, or just felt at peace in my own home. There were times when something as simple as checking the mail or opening my banking app would trigger stress. And I found myself wondering if I would ever feel normal again. So if you can relate at all, I want you to know that you are not alone. And I am here to walk through this with you. My goal is to help you move beyond overwhelm, whatever that looks like for you, and start building a life that's aligned with what God created you to be. And today, I'm starting with something totally simple. We're talking about why having 2 bank accounts is actually better than having one. Before we go any further, I want to give you a little context for what we're building here. This episode is part of something that I call Simply Balanced. If you haven't watched the introduction yet, I'll link it in the description box, or you can click the link up here to watch it. Simply Balanced is a simple step-by-step system for women who feel overwhelmed trying to manage their finances. It's for those of us who feel busy all the time, struggle to keep up with bills, or don't do well trying to track every dollar. This isn't about getting rich. It's about making your finances easier to manage. It's about having your bills handled automatically, knowing how much you can spend safely, building a buffer so emergencies don't throw everything off, preparing ahead for expenses that don't happen every month, and over time, getting out of debt, all while trusting God to provide and guide you along the way. This Simply Balanced system is built in phases, kind of like putting a house together. Foundation, getting everything set up and stable. Framing, shaping how your money flows. Roof, creating protection and breathing room. Systems, preparing for future and irregular expenses. And finishing touches, focusing on debt freedom and long-term stability. And right now, we're in the very first phase, the foundation. This phase is all about getting your account set up and your bills organized in a way that removes stress from your everyday life, so that you're not constantly thinking about what needs to be paid when it's due or whether you forgot something. In this episode, this is the first step inside that foundation. Most people are trying to organize their finances from one account, one place where everything happens. Your income comes in, your bills come out, your groceries, gas, subscriptions, and everything else all pull from the same balance. And on the surface, that seems simple. But in reality, it's what causes the overwhelm. Because that one number in your account is trying to represent too many things at once. It's trying to tell you what you can spend, what's already spoken for, what bills are still coming out, and what's left over, all at the same time. And it can't do that clearly. So, every time that you check your account, you're not just looking at a number, you're trying to interpret it. You're doing mental math. Okay, I still have to pay my mortgage. I still need to pay for my car payment. And I think my electricity bill is due next week. And if you're off even just a little, it creates stress because now you're second guessing everything. Should I spend this? Should I wait? What if something hits that I forgot about? So instead of moving forward confidently, you hesitate, you delay, you avoid. Not because you're irresponsible, but because your system requires you to constantly think, track, and remember everything. And that can be exhausting, especially if you're already busy, already overwhelmed, or someone who tends to overfocus or completely shut down when things feel like too much. That's why trying to organize your finances from one account usually leads to one or two extremes. You either check it constantly and stress over every decision, or you avoid it altogether and hope it all works out. And neither one leads to peace. That's where the shift starts to happen. Because instead of trying to manage everything in one place, you can separate it. And that's where having two bank accounts begins to change things. Once I realized that the real issue wasn't what I was doing with my money, but how it was set up, the solution became much simpler. Instead of trying to track everything in one place, I started separating it using two bank accounts. Years ago, I had come across the idea of using two bank accounts to organize your finances, and it always made sense to me. Because instead of one number trying to represent everything, you give each part of your money a different place. So that's what we've done since. And now, as we begin the process of organizing our finances again, we opened new bank accounts and started fresh. Not to make things more complicated, but to make things finally clear. Here's what it looks like. Your money comes in and goes straight to your bills account. From your bills account, you can either pay your bills or transfer a set amount of money on a regular basis to your spending account. That money in your spending account is what you can use for all your regular spending that does not use a due date. All of your bills that come with a due date are safely protected inside of your bills account. So no more do you have to worry about whether or not you can afford to get your groceries and still pay all of your bills because your money is separated and protected from one another. And that separation changes everything because now I don't have to mentally track what's coming out. I don't have to second guess every purchase. I don't have to constantly check and recheck my balance. This system creates clarity for me. This is the first real step in learning how to organize your finances with two bank accounts in a way that actually feels manageable. Not perfect, not complete, but simple and clear enough to move forward. At its core, this system works for one simple reason. It separates what's already spoken for from what you already use. Your bills account answers one question, is everything covered? Your spending account answers another, what can I use right now? And that clarity removes a lot of pressure. Because instead of managing everything all at one time, you're working within a structure that already did the sorting for you. It reduces decision fatigue. You don't have to stop and calculate every purchase. You don't have to check your account 5 times a day. You don't have to mentally track what's coming out next. It creates natural boundaries. Instead of relying on willpower, your accounts create limits for you. When your spending account is empty, that's your signal. Not confusion, not guessing, just a clear boundary. It brings peace back into your finances. You're not constantly bracing for something that you forgot. You're not wondering if a bill is going to hit at the wrong time. You're not trying to hold everything in your head. You have a system, and that system supports you. Because instead of trying to control every dollar, you are giving your money structure. And structure is what creates clarity. The goal here isn't to build a perfect system overnight. It's just to get your money separated so things start to feel clear. You can refine everything later. For now, we're keeping this simple. Step 1, you're going to set up your 2 bank accounts. You will need one account for bills and one account for spending. That's If you already have 2 checking accounts, you can use those. If not, you can open up a new account with your current bank or open up new accounts at a new bank for a fresh start. We're currently switching to America's Christian Credit Union because we want our money handled by an institution that aligns with our values. If your bank offers a high yield checking account, I recommend using that as your bills account. This is the account where your income will go and where your bills will be paid from. So it typically holds more money than your spending account. If you have the option to earn interest on that balance, it's a simple way to make your money work for you while it's sitting there. Quick note, some banks, like ACCU, require you to open a savings account when you open a checking account. If that happens, don't let it slow you down. Go ahead and open it. You don't need it for this step, but we'll actually use it later in the Simply Balanced system when we start planning things like irregular expenses and future needs. Step 2, you're going to choose which account is which. Decide clearly. Which account is your bills account and which account is your spending account. Your bills account will hold money that's already spoken for. Your spending account will hold what you actually use day to day. Step 3, send income to your bills account. This is important. Your paycheck or main income should go into your bills account first, not your spending account. That way, all your bills are prioritized before anything else. Step 4, you're going to transfer money into your spending account. From your bills account, you will transfer a set amount into your spending account on a regular basis. This is the money that you will use for things like your groceries, gas, haircuts, things that you do on a daily basis. You don't have to know that number right now. We will walk through that in an upcoming post. For now, the goal is just to create a separation. Step 5, keep it simple. You don't need to track every dollar, categorize everything, build a full budget yet. Right now, we're just creating structure, reducing confusion, giving your money a place to live. Because once your money is separated, everything else becomes easier. If you've been feeling overwhelmed with money, this is where you start. Not with a perfect budget, not with tracking every dollar, not with trying to fix everything all at once, just by separating your money. Using 2 bank accounts to give clarity where there has been confusion. Because when our money has structure, our mind can finally be at rest. You don't have to carry everything. You don't have to remember everything. You don't have to constantly question every decision. You have a system supporting you. And this is just the beginning. In the next step, we're going to take a real look at what's actually coming out of your account each month. Not based on what a budget should look like, but based on what your life actually requires, because your situation is unique and your plan should reflect that. And as you take this step, remember, you're not being asked to figure everything out at once. You're being invited to build something steady, to be faithful with what's in front of you, to take the next step right where you are. If you want to walk through this step by step with me, I created the Balanced Home to help you do just that. It's where I'm sharing each part of the system as I build it with simple tools, guidance, and real life steps that you can follow at your own pace. You can follow the link in your description today. If this resonated with you, comment 2 accounts if you're going to try this method out for your family. If this helped you, it really helps me if you like and subscribe. You don't have to fix everything this week. You just have to start. And this is just the beginning of the foundation step. There are 2 more parts that will help you build this out fully. How to identify and organize your monthly bills, and how to set up your system so that your bills are handled automatically. So if this feels like a step in the right direction, stay with me. We're building this one piece at a time.